Ladies and gentlemen, American German Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Eric Deters Show. Thank you, Josh Wentz, for the new intro. As always, we're sponsored by Deters Consulting, Parks Yoga. Check us out on all of our platforms. Well, the big story today is obviously Israel and Hamas. It's my understanding 9 Americans have been killed. There's Americans that are still there. There's Americans that are part of the hostages. And if you didn't know this, on Friday, and this is a holy time of the year for the Orthodox Jews. They just got finished off a week of living in a nomadic manner. They do it. They live in tents and whatnot. I forget the name of the holiday.
Yom Kippur.
Yom Kippur is the day, but this was a whole week of celebration. And the symbolism of this on Friday is same time as the 1973 Yom Kippur War. And the bottom line is this was mean and nasty, kidnapping babies, taking women and children, infiltrating Israel all over the place, and it's bad. Now, you can't make this up. The Department of Defense actually issued an X that asked Israel not to retaliate and use restraint. Apparently, they changed their mind because they took it down. And just for the record, do you love the war and bad economy, the wars and the bad economy all in one with Joe Biden? I mean, the Ukrainian war, he wanted it to happen. Remember, Susan Rice, who's running the country, when she was National Security Advisor, nobody talks about this, under Barack Obama, said that we can live with a nuclear North Korea. Well, good, because it's going to happen. Iran, let's go nuclear. Let's give them billions of dollars. China doing whatever they want. I mean, it's truly a cluster F around the world because Joe Biden is the president of the United States. And he's a cluster F. Babies being held hostage. Women being held hostage. I mean, it's crazy, folks. Crazy. The Hamas leader, Ismail Haniyeh, watched it all on television with glee in Qatar. Why don't we bomb him? It's clear as day. Iran helped. Hezbollah, excuse me, Hamas, all of them, they don't do anything without Iran. I mean, Iran sponsors these folks. I mean, it's sickening. Meanwhile, guess what Joe Biden was doing? He was having a barbecue at the White House. You can't cancel a barbecue, Joe? Jeez, oh, Pete. 2 top Israeli commanders were killed during the early strikes. But, folks, this is full war. Right now, as I'm talking to you, it is 10:40 a.m. on Monday. They are getting the tanks ready to go into Gaza Strip. They are going to seize the Gaza Strip. Guess what, Palestine? This is going to do the opposite of what you wanted. Forget about it. Never going to get trusted again. Musk is taking down Ayatollah's ex-posts. Good for him. Meanwhile, Congress is getting ready to do something. God only knows. But, of course, we have the squad and the rest of them. They've always backed the Palestinian state. You ready for this? You ready for this? Thomas Massey, 4th Congressional District Congressman, who I'm going to run against, hasn't said a word about this. He's tweeted or X'd, but he hasn't done anything else. I mean, remember Dan Goldman, the guy that was point man on the Hunter Biden hearings? This guy was in Israel going to if I remember correctly, it was a bar mitzvah of a family member. He's apparently getting out safe. What does the United States do? They send an aircraft carrier, the Gerald Ford, to the Mediterranean. Typical of Joe Biden, he does things after the fact. Boy, the military complex has got an erection over all this, don't they, Josh Wentz? Ukrainian war, this war, oh my gosh, man, make the bombs. And I also thought about this, Josh. I wonder if we got enough bombs to help anyway. Right. Sorry, Israel, we've given all our bombs to Ukraine and Zelensky. Right. See if he's got a few to hand over to you. All right, you've heard me say this all the time, that politicians will not sacrifice their lives, much less their careers. How beautiful is it that Matt Gaetz says He doesn't care if he loses his seat over everything he's done with McCarthy or kicked out of Congress or loses. For two reasons. One, he'll serve in the Trump administration. But this is the way you're supposed to do it. Who gives a damn? When I'm in Congress and there's a big vote that needs to be done, I'm not going to worry about re-election. In fact, I've always said if you do a good job, you don't have to worry about re-election. Meanwhile, McCarthy says he's probably done. I mean, come on. You go from Speaker of the House, humiliation, defeat. He's probably done. And just think, the jobs, making money these SOBs can get after they leave Congress. Lots of good jobs. Ann Coulter's a skank. You know why I call her skank? She just says stuff without any credibility at all. You ready for this? She blames Trump for the crime in the Democratic cities. Really, Ann? And you know what's so funny? Ann's one of those people that thinks she's the smartest in the room. She just thinks that I'm so smart. You're a long-haired blonde bitch skank, Ann. I love that there's no FEC rules on this. Joe insults blacks and Hispanics. I think I missed this. Somebody said it happened a couple weeks ago, but I think I missed it. He says the problem with blacks and Hispanics, they don't have high school degrees. Chicken prices are going up. First meat, steak, hamburger, all of it. Now even chicken is going up. How do you like him now, folks? Most people watching this, I assume you don't like Joe Biden. Somebody might be watching my show for the first time, and you're a Joe Biden fan. Why? Josh Wentz, you can't make this up. I saw somebody said that a Pennsylvania voter said they would vote for Joe Biden if he was dead over Donald Trump. Wow. That's how bad they hate Trump. Debt spiral. It's going down, down, down. The real debt in this country, unfunded federal liabilities like federal pensions, it's not 31 million. It's 93 trillion. Not 33 trillion. It's 93 trillion. By the way, that's how far the sun is from the earth. So you won't forget that. I think it's 93 million miles. 93 million miles, not trillion miles. All right. Rand Paul thinks Fauci should be in jail. Well, that's nice, Rand. But Senator Paul, can you speak out and do something besides just Fauci, 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 Fauci? He's a one-trick pony these days. Fauci, 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 Fauci. By the way, I'm all for against Fauci. But can't you multitask, Rand? Can you multitask? Unbelievable. SEC apparently is going to pick on Jim Biden, but you know what? That's just hairdressing. That's just salad dressing. That's just make it look. See, we're being legitimate. Meanwhile, the Saudis pumping water in Arizona, and I read this, and apparently going to make them stop, and I'm like, what the hell? Are the Saudis pumping our water and taking it to Saudi Arabia? I don't understand what the hell's going on here. I didn't understand the story, to be candid with you. Musk's, the Twitter deal did not work out well for him at all. And apparently, some of the banks are going to twist his gonads a little bit in the near future. We'll see what happens. Jeremy Grantham is a famous, investor. He says Standard & Poor got a crash coming, 20 to 50%. Thank you very much, Jeremy, for weighing in on that. Health insurance must now count co-pays as patient costs. You know what? They just suck. Insurance sucks. J.P. Morgan predicts stocks will plummet 20%. September jobs came out Friday. Good news, 336,000 job increase. But you always got to put that in perspective of how many jobs we lost 2020 through 2022. And this is another thing that cracks me up. Unemployment at 3.8%. It was always around 7. How they make unemployment, how they calculate unemployment is a joke now. They take this out. They take this out. Unemployment today is not the same as unemployment in 1970. 90% of COVID deaths, Josh Wentz, were people 60 and over. That's right. And I'll bet you the other 10% were people that were obese. The FBI is coming out. We already knew this, but the FBI knew every single thing about Hunter's laptop and everything else and did nothing. Trump business licenses are not going to get revoked pursuant to a Court of Appeals decision. Yay, yay, yay. Mar-a-Lago document case is going to be delayed because of all the other legal matters. The border wall sell-off. Right before he approves the border wall, he was selling off the border wall. And remember, he was still paying contracts. Gutfeld went off and said it's time for a second revolution. Civil war. I agree with you, Greg. Black woman suicide. You can't make this up. This young lady hangs herself in a tree in her front yard. That's sad, right? Immediately, the racist blacks said, what's going on here? What's going on here? Like the Ku Klux Klan hung her. El Chapo's sons. Now, this is an awful story, but it's also kind of funny in a sick freaking way. You ready for this, Josh Wentz? Yeah. El Chapo's sons are killing their captains who are disobeying orders by not smuggling fentanyl in the United States. In other words, the drug cartels of El Chapo have said no more fentanyl in the United States. Right. And some of the captains are ignoring that. So El Chapo's sons are playing quote unquote good guys and killing them for doing the unthinkable.
Bizarre world, dude. It's bizarre.
You can't make this up. Army is cutting 10,000 special forces. Do you know how stupid this is? If there's one area that we need to be strong as hell, it's special forces. Why? Because we're not going to line up 200,000 troop battles anymore, right? Commander, they say, Josh Wentz, that he bit more people than even reported and that he was mistreated. There was a video that caught Joe Biden seemingly kicking Commander. Yeah. Folks, if you hated Michael Vick, all you liberals that hated Michael Vick for what he did to dogs, now we know why Commander bites. Yeah. Joe kicks him. I wish Commander would bite him. Florida pastor stole about $1 million from Home Depot. He's pled not guilty. You know what you do in that case? You try the case and say you did it for God and hope for the best. Nikki Haley is in front of DeSantis now in polling. When is Ron going to drop out? Smith & Wesson celebrated their opening of their Nashville 600,000 square feet manufacturing facility. They moved from Connecticut to Tennessee where they wanted to be loved. You ready for this? A Walmart executive believes that Ozempic is causing grocery sales to decline. You think? I know a couple people on Ozempic. They don't eat anything anymore. Pharmacy, they're big old walkouts at CVS and apparently Walgreens today. Pharmacists are tired of their working conditions and everything else. You know what, Josh? I don't know if you know this, but pharmacists are pretty important to make sure they get it right. And if a pharmacist is overstressed and you're allergic to morphine and they give you morphine and you die, will you make sure you call me? All right. Prisoner phones. Apparently, a lot of burner phones were discovered when we had that national, all the national alert goes off on phones. Hey, I wonder how many spouses and boyfriends and girlfriends got busted with burner phones. Did your burner phone go off? Skittles apparently are going to be outlawed in California. And I talked to this about my liberal. Remember, my wife is liberal but not woke. And she says, Eric, Skittles are toxic. I said, what? She goes, yeah, they're toxic. They're letting kids eat toxic Skittles. Yeah. I said, then ban them suckers. Yeah. 96 trillion, I already covered this, is our real national debt. Isn't that nice to know? Democratic socialists in this country cheering. By the way, this is a group that the posse likes, cheering, the squad, cheering what was going on in Israel. Messed up stuff. Money supply is shrinking. This spells bad news for our economy. Menendez, apparently there's a videotape releasing where she caused a crash and killed somebody. But you know what? I want to say this about Menendez. I'm going to play Joker's Wild and go off. How crazy is it, Josh Wentz, that nobody is up Menendez's ass to resign when he's indicted for some real good, bribery? There's more hoopla over Trump than Menendez. Menendez gets a pass. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to Eric Deters Local News, where we give you the news and we give a little comment to it, a little kick. Always sponsored by Deters Consulting, Parks Yoga. Check us out on all of our platforms. Lead story today off a law and crime story a little bit. Guess what they're saying? All of these burglaries that are going on up the rich subdivisions of Hamilton County, like Amberley Village, where Dr. Kurtzman and Alan Statman live, my rich buddies. They say it's out of the country, Josh Wentz. Organized crime. That's scary crap. I wonder if we could arrange for a loan from them. Former Boyle County deputies indicted. Doing some goofy stuff. He looks like a nice young man. He looks like Dominic. Hate to see him indicted. In local news, today in history, the Black Sox, the Cincinnati Reds, they weren't the Black Sox, they were the White Sox, Black Sox, won the World Series. And you know why? Because the White Sox threw the game. It was a bizarre story. More and more people, they say, are carrying around naloxone in order to give overdose people a saving shot, which I think is noble and great. But Josh, I don't encounter overdose victims. Maybe I did. Big crash out in Boone County. A Boone County deputy and others were injured. I think they released the name of the deputy, but not the others. 3-year-old was hit in Price Hill. Sad, sad, sad story. Cincinnati home sales are dropping like hotcakes. In other words, people aren't selling. You know why? Because of interest rates. Nobody can buy. Nobody wants to build. Millions for museums. This rich couple from Cincinnati is donating $18 million. How come they couldn't donate $1 million to Eric Deters Media? They must be liberal. Bogart incident. Cops and everybody else had to show up over the weekend for, I don't even find out what exactly happened, but I thought Bogarts was saying, my last time going to Bogarts is I took Lori Lucas, who used to be Lori Myman, to the Romantics concert there. That was like forever ago. It was before I was even married. That's the last time I've been to Bogarts. You been to Bogarts?
It's been a while.
All right, UC Ohio Innocence Project are getting some kudos from the Ohio State Legislature. And I like David, the head of the organization, but I'm going to do an asterisk next to him. They never, ever speak out about injustice except if it involves a black person. White injustice is okay with the Ohio Innocence Project, unless they do go after those wrongfully convicted that are sitting in jail. By the way, they do a lot of good work. But you know what? I've never heard David, and it would help David, publicly speak up about what's going on with the Durrani victims. Jerry Girding, his defamation lawsuit, he's on the right. Rachel Roberts, much better looking than Jerry. His defamation lawsuit gets to go forward a little bit. He sued her and the Democratic Party. He's probably doing cartwheels. I know he needs the money. Boone Homeless Shelter has been recommended. Who would ever think that Boone County has homeless people? Right. They're rich as hell. They certainly can afford to build a homeless shelter. And this Fort Wright thing is getting weirder and weirder. In Fort Wright, there was a LBG-2 attack on a house, spray paint, all that kind of stuff. And Fort Wright's all up in arms. This is going to keep going on and on and on, folks. Why? Because people think they can get away with it. In Kentucky news, David White, this kid, is on the loose and he's armed and dangerous. He's from, I think, Clay County, but Pulaski County, Wayne County, Africa. He's down there in southeastern Kentucky. You never know. He could be coming north, folks. If he knocks on your door, shoot him. All right, Loretta Lynn's home is the most visited tourist site in eastern Kentucky. Wow. Loretta Lynn. Have you ever been to Butcher's Holler? I'm not. It looks still like Butcher's Holler. Eastern Kentucky shooting left a Lexington police officer as well as 2 others injured. Jonathan Shell, I like Jonathan Shell. I'm supporting him, met him along the campaign trail. Good guy. Was a legislature. Now he's going to be our next agriculture. He is not going to do Kentucky tonight. Why should he? He's going to win anyway. Russell Coleman, our next attorney general, and he's just started doing television commercials, has got the rape, incest, life of the mother exceptions now. Good move, Russell. I'm for you. All right. Adams apparently paid his bar dues from the Secretary of State's office, and there's a big up alarm. Now, see, this is me being fair and impartial. Really? Okay, he's Secretary of State. And how did he pay the bar? What was it, $100? Let's get all worked up about that. See, I think a lot of this stuff happens inadvertently, or they think it's okay. It involved a little bit of money. Cremation is over burials in the state of Kentucky now, except in rural Kentucky. They still want to put them in a pine box and put them in the ground where the worms can eat them. I personally am going to get cremated. Why would you want to be buried in the ground? You know, it's a tradition. All right. Bashir is up 16 points. I think we already covered that. I just want to stress it again. Former Owensboro superintendent's been suspended and indicted. This is unbelievable. Jefferson County School District is teaching about white supremacy, drag queens, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Jefferson County is a messed up county, folks. In Ohio news, Miami University might cut 18 majors. 18 of them. Better not cut history. Light the Night's coming. Have you ever been to Light the Night? It's pretty cool. Cincy is the 4th happiest city in the country. How do you like that? Issue 1. Are you going to vote yes or no? Just so you know, all the Republicans want you to vote yes. All the naysayers say no. This is a very strict abortion law. Tim Morris is accused of terrorizing Cross Creek Elementary. Tim, you should go to jail for a while. Norwood Firehouse. It wasn't a shooting at Norwood Firehouse, but 2 guys show up to Norwood Firehouse being shot and asking for help. I wonder if they're criminals or they're the good guys. Right. Dennis Lee Adams, an attorney, is being disbarred, and now he's been sentenced. Well, he's going to be sentenced for over a year. He pled guilty for stealing clients' money. The manhunt. Remember this youth pastor we reported yesterday that we want hung? He's on the run. Manhunt for him. Save Our Farmland bill has been this is the legislature that wants to pass it. Save Our Farmland in the state of Ohio in order to not let the communists buy it. Sounds good to me. Children have been dodging bullets lately at their homes, being shot at. That's messed up. This is a wild story. A newborn was declared dead. They took him to the crematory, and the baby started crying. What? That's messed up. For a foreclosure rescue scam, this Hamilton man is being sentenced. In other words, you're going foreclosure, let us help you, give us money, and then not do a damn thing. Well, didn't I call it, folks? When the black leaders, led by Damon Lynch III, started speaking about the railway. So what did I say? I said, it's a shakedown. You give us more money, and we'll let it. And it'll go straight into their pockets. You ready for this? Sure enough, they wanted to be reparations. Unbelievable. In Indiana news, Dearborn is underfunding their emergency services. Get with it, Dearborn County.
Hello, you're watching Eric Deters World News, the latest headlines. A 6.3 magnitude earthquake and a series of powerful aftershocks hit western Afghanistan, destroying villages and leaving hundreds dead. Tremors could also be felt in neighboring Iran. Israel's Prime Minister vowed revenge against Hamas after the deadly attacks in years. The US is holding talks with regional power Egypt to de-escalate the crisis. More than 600 Israelis and 300 Palestinians have been killed in the violence. Israel says Hamas has taken at least 100 people from Israeli hostage. The US says it is moving an aircraft carrier, ships and jets to the eastern Mediterranean Sea and will also give Israel additional equipment and ammo. And at least 23 people have been killed in landslides caused by heavy rains in Cameroon's capital, Yaoundé. The emergency services have said. Heavy rainfall caused the Mano River to burst its banks on Sunday, submerging several neighborhoods. Until tomorrow, thank you for watching. Cheerio.
Ladies and gentlemen, American Jerry Bulldog Nation, welcome to Eric Deters Pop Culture, where we make fun of them. And boy, do we have lots to make fun of today. We begin with Christine Costner. This woman is evil. She's now played the he was lousy at sex card. I can't believe Costner, in any agreement with this woman, didn't say, you're going to shut your mouth. She wanted to get divorced to make the money. Now, it didn't turn out well. She's just being a mean bitch. This bitch is trying to hurt Kevin Costner. You know what? It'd been better, Christina, if you played it nice. Unbelievable. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, there's rumors they're breaking up already because she didn't appear at the Vikings game or out with him on his birthday. Take, as I call this, might just be an outtake soon. Cincinnati apparently is the 4th happiest city in the country. We'll take it. Olivia Wilde took a shot at Taylor Swift, saying, why don't you take a climate, environmentalist or something? Shut up, Olivia. You only make $500,000, we found out now. I thought you were rich, bitch. Kylie Jenner posted something positive about Israel and had to take it down because she was attacked. Kylie, come on, keep it up. Have some balls. The train Karen's been fired. This woman went off on 2 nice Germans. Even her boyfriend said, I ain't never going to date you again. Dump that Karen. AC/DC played their first concert in 20 years. Wow, or 7 years. My bad, 7 years. In California, they played a 26-song set. Brian Johnson and Angus were the only 2 originals. Well, Brian has been there long enough to could be considered an original. Smith & Wesson relocated to Tennessee. Check them out, man. I love it. Why? Because Connecticut sucks. Hugh Jackman is apparently going to do a biography where, I used to like Hugh Jackman. Not anymore. He's a freaking weirdo ever since this freaking divorce. The smartest dog, Chuck Holbrook, isn't an Australian whatever you got. It's a border collie. We had a 3-legged border collie named Cody back in the day on the farm. That dog was smart as hell. My next dog is going to be a border collie. Why? Because I went the smartest dog. No #1 song. You can't make this up. The Who, Led Zeppelin,
That's nuts.
never had some other groups never had a #1 song. Creedence Clearwater Revival. Never had a #1 song. That's crazy. King Charles is apparently upset that William and Kate are taking away his attention. He's an old fuddy-duddy. He looks like his mom. Missing drunk monkey. First we had monkeys attacking Indian town. Now we got a drunk monkey found in Indiana. It was missing. That was drinking a beer. These monkeys are out of control. Remember that song, Grandma's Boy, where they had a monkey in it? That was funny. Ben Affleck's outtake doing Dunkin' Donuts are hysterical. Hello to your mother. He goes, we're out of coffee, we're out of donuts, we got water. I mean, it was funnier than hell. Check them out. All right, Sierra and Future. I don't have these names. She's apparently moved on. It's like, your taste buds changed. That's going to be the new line when you want to get divorced or break up. Honey, my taste buds have changed. No big winner of Powerball. I won $4, just for the record. You can't make this up, folks. I'm going to make fun of Jamie Spindley. Make sure we tell him about this. I told Jamie Spindley, I gave him a $100 bill, and I said, hey, go buy me 10 more tickets of Powerball. You know what he does? He buys me 100 freaking tickets, not 10. So I got $90 more worth of Powerball tickets than I wanted. I think they're $2 a piece. Right. Now, I thought about this. I said, Jamie, God, I only wanted 10. Would it be funny if I actually won? Yeah. I'll take it all back, Jamie. All right. Drake says he wants to take some break and rest. And Drake also talked about the Cincinnati Reds in a song. Drake has had sex with every female pop star. You keep hearing more and more about it. Like, what the hell, man? If you date somebody, Drake's been there. Geraldo says he's ashamed that he was ever friends with Trump and how long it's been. You think he might be angling for a CNN gig again? Yeah. Yes. Matthew McConaughey was at the Texas game. You got to love him. Rooting on his Texans. Stevie Nicks, now I'm telling you right now, she said her all-time best song was Silver Springs. It is a haunting, great breakup song. I didn't realize it. It was about Lindsey Buckingham after the breakup. I knew Go Your Own Way was his song on the breakup. You ready for this? Fleetwood Mac did not want to use the song. Lindsey Buckingham and Mick Fleetwood blocked the song. Then they decided to put it on the B-side. It is a beautiful song. All right, these guys crack me up. Brad Cooper, all right. okay, he doesn't know whether he wants to get back with the, what's her name, this dating Tom Brady. So he just dates Gigi Hadid. It's one supermodel after the other. Guess what? If you date a supermodel, Leonardo DiCaprio's been there. Yeah. Joan Jett sang at the Star Spangled Banner at the Baltimore Orioles game. Go Joan Jett. And that's pop culture. We'll be back tomorrow with some more. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Cheering Bulldog Nation, welcome to Sports Without Boundaries. This is the one day of the week where we do cover a lot of scores, because there's a lot of scores we just decide we got to cover. Of course, we start with the Cincinnati Bengals win over the Arizona Cardinals, 34-20. Who called it? I called it. I told you to relax. Burrow's going to win. This game's going to win. And was it a win? Jamar Chase, 15 catches, nearly 200 yards. 15 catches is a record by 2. I mean, it's unbelievable. And you ready for this? I saw this, Josh Wentz. Jamar Chase ran the 6th fastest as a football player this year on that route. And it was the longest in-air pass of Joe Burrow's career. It was a beautiful pass. Beautiful. All right, Chiefs were over the Vikings. Guess who didn't show up at the game or his birthday? Taylor Swift. And maybe we should just talk about, is there problems already? You know, that's going to be the ridiculousness. If she's not together with them, there's a problem. Yeah. Jets over the Broncos, and I tell you right now, Sean Payton went bonkers. I mean bonkers on Russell Wilson on a fumble. The Eagles beat the Rams. I hated that news. The Dolphins beat the Giants. I tell you right now, the Dolphins are badass. Daniel Jones left the game with a little neck injury. Looks like he's going to be okay. The Lions beat the Panthers. Bryce Young is the worst quarterback in the NFL. Maybe a little worse than Dak Prescott. The Falcons beat the Texans. The Steelers beat the Ravens. I watched this game, and what a game it was. And I was rooting for the Steelers because now we're only one game out. The Saints beat the Patriots. It's like 30-something to the 2 back-to-back worst losses in Bill Belichick's career. I got to defend Bill Belichick. Do you believe the GOAT, the all-time GOAT of NFL coaching, they're calling him to be fired? That is fickle. Really? You don't think that this doesn't have to do with personnel and everything else? You know, they're still adjusting to the post-Brady years. Give me a break. The Colts beat the Titans. This was a shocker to me, but they did. Jags beat the Bills over in England. And this was bad because Milano, their great linebacker, gone. They get Von Miller back. Now Milano's gone for the year. And the Cowboys sucked it up last night against the Niners. It's the Niners, the Eagles, and everybody else. Right. My Cowboys are all world one week, and they suck the next. Let me see. The Cowboys beat the Jets, the Giants, and the Patriots. Woo! Dak Prescott, 3 interceptions in a row. Wow. Terrible. Packers play the Raiders tonight. All right, in college football, got to cover some of this stuff. Oklahoma beat Texas in the Red River Battle. Pretty cool. They play in the Cotton Bowl. Half tickets for both schools. What a game. And Matthew McConaughey was there. All right. Didn't work. Ohio State beat Maryland. Bama beat Texas A&M and Texas A&M. Georgia crushed Kentucky. I was at the Louisville Notre Dame game. When they announced that score, the crowd went bonkers. Louisville beat Notre Dame. I was at the game. Notre Dame laid an egg. USC, 3 overtimes and beat Arizona. And Georgia Tech beat Miami. Miami could have taken a knee. Instead, ran the ball, fumbled, lose the game. They're calling for that coach to be fired. Crazy. Okay, Major League Baseball. This was the way it is right now. The Rangers are up 2-0 against the Orioles. The Orioles were the number 1 American League seed. Texas is going to sweep them. The Twins and Astros are tied 1-1. The Dodgers and the Diamondbacks 0-1. They play today. Phillies, the Brewers 0-1 play today. I'm going to watch baseball. I'm mad that my football watching, I missed the baseball watching. All right, let's cover high school sports here. Moeller beat St. Ignatius, Xavier 24, LaSalle 13. Now, here's some Kentucky scores, folks. And this is crazy. Beechwood 67, Owen County 0. The Owen County football team needs revamped. Yeah. Start over, like Bill Belichick says. Brossard 35, Holy Cross 14, Bracken 44, Gallatin 33, Carroll 21, Walton Verona 7, Dayton 38, Bellevue 14, Harlan County 36, South Central 22. I threw that in because I'm partial to Hardin County. Henry County 36, Western Hills 0. Come on, the home of Pete Rose sucks in football. Highlands 53, Boone 7. Highlands is back. Ludlow 47, Trimble 6. Mason County 40, Harrison 13. Newcat 22, Newport 6. Ryle 37, Campbell County 36. Simon Kenton 50 played Great Crossing 36. Who the hell is Great Crossing? Never heard of them. All right, Joey Vaughn wants to play one more year. Is it red or not red? I say it's time to move on. We got to put Encarnacion Strand there. See it, Joey. Unless he wants to play, knowing he may not be a starter. Chase Claypool is now with the Miami Dolphins, like they needed more wide receivers. Kyler Murray, they say that he ain't coming back even when he's ready to come back. Kid Gilchrist, a former UK player, went to play for Charlotte, has sued a life insurance company. Are you ready for this? He did not want to get the vax. He, quote unquote, had to get the vax. He gets the vax. He gets myocarditis. Think about this. A world-class, wealthy athlete now gets myocarditis. Sad. Bryce James, Bronny's little brother, the youngest of the James boys, did a visit at Ohio State University. Of course, LeBron's from there. You know what, Josh? If I am, unless you're like UK, well, even UK, he's right to mention, why wouldn't a program not want the publicity that comes with having LeBron James' kid on your squad?
Right.
If I was Duke and UK, I'd offer him a damn scholarship. Al Michaels says he's never eaten a vegetable. What? He said he's going to live the longest not eating a vegetable. That's pretty wild. You haven't eaten corn? Right. Once upon a time, corn was the only vegetable I ate. Then I graduated to carrots and green beans, and those were the only vegetables. My wife now has me eating broccoli even. You believe that? All right, aluminum bats in college. I saw this story. You know why? It's not what you think. It's because of budgets. They don't want to spend money on broken wooden bats.
That makes sense.
It makes sense, but come on, man.
Right.
You need to hit LeVar Ball mouthing off again that he could definitely beat Michael Jordan one-on-one. I don't know if he's talking about in his playing days or now. I wish Michael Jordan would just smoke this son of a bitch. All right. Thomas More won their football game. Congratulations, Thomas More Saints. This is a great story. Terrell Davis was interviewed. You ready for this, Josh? Peyton Manning and Terrell Davis are coaching their middle school football team. Peyton's son is the quarterback. 204 plays. I think his name's Marshall. Apparently, his little wristpad keeps getting in. 204. I love Peyton Manning. Give it 204 plays, middle school. You know what that's all about, though, don't you? He's training him for high school, college, and pro. How does Peyton Manning's son not have the genetics and the brains and the talent and the coaching to not be a pro football player? I just don't know how that doesn't happen. Right. They'll all already offer him a scholarship. I'm sure Tennessee has. Belichick, they're calling for his firing. I've already talked about this. Leave him alone. And FC Cincinnati beat Messi 1-0. See ya, Messi. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.